So if we type in, say, Alex and pass 123, we've got Alex and pass 123. Now let's type in this value that we typed in earlier. So we've got we've got a single quotation mark, a space, or, and two single quotation marks equals single quotation mark. Let's go ahead and press, oh no, we'll put it in here as well, so there we go. Let's press enter. You can see that these values have been transferred through, literally. So nothing's changed. We've transferred the exact data that we've typed into the form. Now, this is the reason that our SQL can be modified. So with as it stands at the moment, if we had these uncommented, we could run a query of our choice. So let's go ahead and uncomment this. Now we've processed our query. If something was in here now to delete something or modify something, then this is deadly. However, in our user login system, we are creating an if statement to check how many rows have been returned, because if the username and password don't equal the same thing in the same record, then we can't log the user in because their credentials obviously don't match, and we will have an invalid username and password combination. So let's go ahead and create this if statement. Let's go mysql num row. So we're calling this function, which is going to count the amount of rows returned by this query here. So we can type in query run there. So if the mysql num rows returned from the query are greater than or equal to 1, this means that the credentials match both the username and password. So we can echo login success. Usually we wouldn't do this. At this point in here, we would process some kind of session to equal the ID from the database, but for now we're just using this as an example. So otherwise, invalid username password combination. Okay, yeah. So let's go ahead and try this with the values that we submit. So I'm going to keep this open, and I'm going to break down again. Okay, so let's go back and go straight onto our index.php file. Let's type in Alex and a wrong password, so pass456. Now we've got Alex as the username, pass456 as the password, and we've returned the message invalid username and password combination, because nowhere in our table do we have Alex and pass456 as the username and password. So now what we can do is we'll go and submit some correct data. So Alex and pass123, these match here. So we've got Alex as the username and password, 123 as the password. Click submit, and it says login success because we've successfully submitted the username and password that match inside of our table. So now let's go ahead and use this example that we used earlier by writing a single quotation mark or double quotation mark equals double quotation mark. And what this is going to do is it's going to structure our query as we discussed earlier, and it's just going to put into here, and the password as well, that or that equals that. So that's going to go into our query, and we're going to return more than one row. Therefore the user is automatically logged in. So let's go ahead and click submit. Okay, so you can see that the username is single quotation mark or single quotation mark equals single quotation mark, and the password is also that as well. And now you can see, interestingly, we've got a login success here. So this is a real problem when it comes to our user login system, if you like, because what we've done is now anyone can type these values in, and unfortunately they can log in as a user when they maybe don't have access. So how can we protect against this? Well, I'm going to show you 3 different ways now that we can protect against this specific error. For your own queries you might need to slightly modify this, but now I'm just going to talk about this so we can get the general idea of how we can start to protect. Now the first problem we look at is the single quotation marks. The single quotation marks need to be escaped in order for them not to work. So for example, if we were submitting, if we were submitting the data like this and escaping that that, and that. So let's copy and paste that into here, and we click submit. You see that we get an invalid username password combination, so we need some way to escape the different characters. Now there's something in PHP and something in the php.ini file, which I've just opened here. If you don't know how to open this or don't know how to edit things from it, you can find a tutorial on that as well. What we have here is we have magic quotes GPC. And you can see the comment just above it is magic quotes for incoming get, post or cookie data. And what this is going to do is it's going to escape, like I've just written here, these automatically when you submit data. So it's not foolproof because we might not be submitting through a post or a get or even cookie. So let's go ahead and turn this on. And in a moment we're going to turn it off, and I'm going to show you how you can also include this if it's automatically, say, off on your server. So let's go ahead and restart Apache from our XAMPP control panel. So remember, every time you make a change in your php.ini file, you must restart Apache. Okay, so let's come back to our page and wait for localhost. Right, okay, so our server has been restarted and we've turned magic quotes on. So now let's go ahead and do exactly the same thing and click submit. Now you can see that without doing anything, we've automatically now escaped. Well, we did do something, we changed the value in php.ini, but what we didn't do is change any of our code, and this has automatically given us some sort of protection against SQL injection.